Drop a 1 in the chat if you're here. And 2, if you could ask any questions that you want me to cover specifically. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through a basic setup for one to get started, and after that, I want to answer any questions that you guys might have. So if you have any specific questions that you want me to cover right now, or not right now, but as soon as we get finished with just a basic setup, let me know. So I see we have a few in here. We got one more coming in, and I'm going to go ahead and get started here shortly. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're here. I got, gosh, Genario, am I pronouncing your name right? I feel like I'm probably not. So I apologize. Kenny, Monique, anyone else? All right. So basically, when you first get into your system, the first thing we want to do, and this is just a default account, the first thing we want to do is get our system set up. So the best way to do that, first you're going to need an email. So this is going to be where the emails are being sent from, or sent to. So anytime you have a lead respond or something like that, it's going to send a notification to this email. And you need a phone number in here as well. So this is where your text messages are going to be sent from. You can also reply to any text on your phone, or if this is a cell phone, you can reply directly from there. And after that, you need to grab a dedicated number. So this is only going to happen if you set up your Twilio account. So a Twilio account is super easy to set up. We don't have any affiliation with Twilio. That's just how our back end is set up. So to do that, you'd go to twilio.com. If you don't already have an account, create an account, and you can purchase credits through them. It is extremely reasonable. I think a phone number is like $1 or something like that. So plug in your SID and your auth token. And we got a few more coming in. Plug this in. After this verifies, you can then request your dedicated number. And so that is going to be something like this. And if you have your own, this should populate your own Twilio settings. So if you're outside of the United States and Canada, that's fine. You can also select other and tell us what country and kind of go from there. And if you have a preferred area code, that works as well. So that is how you enter your dedicated number. That dedicated number is where all of the messages are going to be sent from. And this number is going to tie directly to this notification phone number, so you can only have one notification phone number. So that's the back end, like the porting, how that happens, and I don't even understand all the technicalities of it. But basically, you can only have one notification phone per dedicated phone number. And that dedicated phone number, again, is going to be coming from Twilio. The phone number format, we just recently added this because we have people coming in from different countries with different country codes and stuff like that. So however you need your number to display, you can select that right here. So the next thing that we would do is set a campaign time. So again, this depends on if you want to run your campaigns to only run at given times, you can do that. So if you just want to send campaigns during business hours, you can select this. If you want them to run 24/7, which it just depends on how these leads are coming into your system, you can deselect that. The next thing you want to do is connect your email settings. So the email settings, you can use either SendGrid, Mailgun. If you have Gmail, you just use your credentials to log in. And you guys may not have this yet, but we have a Google API app that is set up that it will pull in all the correct credentials for you, so you don't have to worry about anything else. But with Gmail, just for example, you would enter your username, your password, and then if you want to have your from settings set up and all that kind of stuff, hit verify. This will turn green when it's verified. If you have another system, if it's not SendGrid, Mailgun, or Gmail, you can go through, just grab the SMTP address and your username, password, and you should also be able to get the port information as well. So it's pretty simple. Once you have these things verified, you should be good to go. And from there, you can start, that'll give you the green light on starting campaigns and sending and all that kind of stuff, which is basically the entire purpose of the system, is to set up these campaigns. So what else should I cover in here? Okay, if you also want to send messages to a Slack channel, so this is basically any response, any input or any response is also going to copy to a Slack channel. So I won't get into this too much, but basically if you know your way around Slack, this is pretty simple. You just create a channel and you put that channel URL in here, and it's going to copy all those responses to that channel. Bring another one in. If we have a number in Twilio already, do we add it manually? Yes. So if you have your Twilio credentials plugged in, you should be able to manually enter your number. If you don't, contact us and we'll do it from the back end. We've had to do this so few, and we're expecting to have it done more, that I believe we added this in here to where once you connect your Twilio settings, that number you should be able to just manually input yourself. If you have a Twilio number, do you need this dedicated number? Yeah, the dedicated number is where that's going to be sent from. That's essentially the Twilio number. So the dedicated number is the Twilio number, if that makes sense. So you should be able to use that number in this case. But again, you just have to make sure you only have one number connected. Any other questions on this before I move on? I guess what I would say is if you have any issues, let me know. So either send an email to support@funnelbolt.com, use intercom. So this right here, this goes directly to me and our team. So send a message here if you have any issues, and we can get that fixed for you. Another important thing to address here in the settings is each account. So you'll see here I have a couple different accounts in here. Each account has its own off key right here. And so basically if you were to think of it as a tree, as your leads are coming into your Funnelbolt system, the authorization key tells that where to send. So that allows us to run, if you're connecting webhooks or bringing anything into the system, it's going to reference the proper account and put that information. So yes, and if you are bringing leads in from outside of the system, so there are two ways to bring leads into Funnelbolt. One is to use our landing page builder, which I just discovered this morning. We're having an issue with the forms, and basically we've been working on the back end, and it created another issue. So we're fixing that, and it'll be done very soon. But if you do not want to use our landing page builder, which is free, you can connect anything you are using with Zapier. So I'm going to try to pull this up just so you guys don't can't see all of my stuff. But I know some of you are not using Zapier, which is fine. You can webhook the information into the system. So this address right here is the webhook address, and the auth key, which is again right here, the auth key is what is going to tell whatever system you're using to webhook where to send that information. So these two things are very important. And the campaign name, so naming that campaign and telling which campaign to assign to is another good thing you need to do, and all of this other information. The custom fields, this just goes on and on and on and on. So that's why we don't have just custom fields. That's how it's mapped. So if you are pulling leads into the system with a webhook, you can do that. And I'm going to pull up the Zapier app here right now. Okay. So in the Zapier app, basically what is going to happen is you will click this right here, and this will place the app within your Zapier account. We use Zapier because most everyone's using Zapier. I've had a lot of people ask about a couple different systems that basically do the same thing. Zapier is just a fancy webhook. That's all it is. So there are other systems that do webhooks and connect things and all that kind of stuff. I realize Zapier is a little more expensive. It's also the most popular and has the most things that you can connect to, which is why we went with Zapier. Okay, so the app is going to look something like this. Once you set up your Twilio number, it becomes your dedicated number. Yes, thank you, Felix. Felix has been in the system for a long time. He has also tested a lot of stuff for us. He knows the system inside and out. So if Felix answers a question, he knows what he's talking about. And I'm going to bring Angel in here to, yeah, Felix. I personally am thankful for Felix. So anyway, Angel should be in here. I don't know if he's going to turn his camera on or not. If Angel is a man, he'll turn his camera on. And it'd be awesome if all you guys turn your cameras on too. So with the Funnelbolt Zapier app, what you can do is you can tell it to push the lead. So that is going to push the lead into Funnelbolt, or you can have it automate a deal stage move based on a trigger. So in Zapier, you're going to pick a trigger, and they have all these apps, whatever you're using, like it, over 2,000 more things. So like this is why we went with Zapier, because it doesn't matter what you're using. If you want to use our landing page builder, great. If you want to use ClickFunnels, great. If you want to use Lead Pages, great. If you want to use whatever other system, WordPress, it doesn't matter. Facebook page, lead ads. So if you're using Facebook lead ads, you can skip the landing page and just get the information directly into Funnelbolt using the Facebook lead ads. We have done this time and time again. That is a very good system. Facebook lead ads, and we can talk about this more in like in a training setting. And you can reach out to Angel for training. We do have training, but Facebook lead ads are so easy to set up, but they don't work unless you have proper follow-up and you have good systems to filter out the bad leads. So Facebook lead ads are great. You can skip the landing page altogether, but they're not going to work unless you have good follow-up, which is where our system comes in. So, for instance, you pick whatever system you want to use and you want to push the lead into Funnelbolt. You hit continue. Again, you're going to need this authorization key, which again is right here in your settings. You're going to pull that auth key in here, and then you can pull in your name, first name, last name, cell phone, email, tell it what campaign to get assigned to, and tell it what deal stage to go to. So we'll get into the campaigns and the deal stages here quickly. You can also pull custom fields in. So in your, this is where the lead ads would come in handy, or if you have a form that you're collecting whatever information, I'm going to show you how to create these custom fields and get them to reference into your system and into the deal stage to where they're actually usable. So I will cover this first, these custom fields first, because it's pretty important if you're collecting information. To create a custom field, we're going to go into our contacts tab here on the left. And I've got all this information in here. I can manually add a contact. I can upload a list. So if you have a list, what we are going to be adding here is the, you can tag contacts right now, but we're going to make it a little easier to tag contacts. And then we're going to have lists. So you can have separate lists in your system. So that will be coming soon. That's something that we had, but as we updated it, nobody was really using it, so we didn't add it. So to add a custom field, click Custom Fields, and you can see here all of the different custom fields that I've added. I'm going to click Add Custom Field, type in here whatever you want, and it's going to add that to my list of custom fields. And once I come back into Zapier, if I hit refresh, it's going to pull that into the system. Also, it's going to add these to my deal stages. So now this contact now has the custom fields in the system, and it's all referenced. So here's our campaigns. So the reason it has all these is because we can assign campaigns from the deal stage. So I'm kind of going around in circles here, but it's important to kind of get these things right first. So these deal stages we can customize. If I'm going to add a deal, this would be like a manual input. So if I'm talking to somebody on the phone or somebody calls me and I want to manually enter the name in, I can do that. I can also add a deal stage. So this is where like the custom pipeline comes in. You can make this pipeline look however you want. Every business is different. Everyone handles their sales pipeline different. Yeah, Angel says drop your questions in here. Go for it. I'll go down the line, try to answer best I can. Name it whatever you want. If it has a value, great. This works for like your initial lead in might be worth $1. Your lead after they complete your application might be worth $10, and your lead after they have qualified themselves might be worth, you know, $100, $500, whatever. So that's why we have this deal value in here. What we are going to do is make the dashboard relevant to your pipeline. So eventually, when we go back to this dashboard and it has all this information here, you're going to be able to see live kind of what your pipeline is worth and like what is going on exactly. So this kind of reflects that, but at the same time, we are going to be making improvements there. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you how you can add campaigns to these deal stages. So I'm going to add a deal stage. Now I'm going to assign a campaign. So what this means is as soon as a contact hits that stage in your pipeline, it's going to trigger that campaign. So the way that we built our pipeline out and the way that we built our campaigns out, and we've done this more than a few times for different businesses, is we come in here to campaigns and we name them things like this. So before appointment, send this. Or upon opt-in, send this. So after they opt in, so I'll show you how this works. Opt-in. So this right here, this campaign part of our system is the most important part of the system, because this is what's going to make you money and make your clients money. And like, this is where all the production takes place, is between the campaigns and the pipeline. So what days do we want this to run? If I'm running paid ads to this, I want it to run all the time, because I don't know when they're going to opt in. If I'm running something that I only want to run during business hours, or something like that, I'm going to tell it to not run, on Sundays or something like that. You can click what days you want it to run, and do you want the campaign to stop when somebody responds? Again, I could go through every application here, but if you check this off, the campaign is going to continue to send. So even if they respond, it's going to continue. If you have a campaign that's asking them questions, you can turn a contact sour by doing that. So generally speaking, I leave these on, or I leave it on to turn off whenever somebody responds. And here's where you can apply tags. So it's important here to note that if you put a tag in here, it is only going to send it to that contact if the contact has that tag. So if you put something in here and then you ask the question of like, hey, none of my contacts are getting the campaign. Well, are you only sending it to people that have the tag, and do those contacts have the tag? So that's the question, right? So generally speaking, for a cold list, I'm going to turn this off unless I apply the tag. It just depends on where your traffic's coming in and if you're applying tags. Okay. So next is creating the campaign. So what I can do here is I can create an email response. I can create a text response, a voicemail response, or a notification to the agent. So again, this notification to agent, if I check this, what's going to happen is it is going to send to this number, and it is going to send to this channel. So send customer replies to, that is where the notification agent is going to send. Okay. So I get back in here again and go from scratch. Does it also send via email? Yeah, it's going to send to that notification email as well. So the email that was in there, and you can enter multiple emails, it's going to send to that as well. So email, text message, voicemail, notification agent. Sends notifications to listed email and phone. So we put that in there because we had the question asked. So then here, if I have notification to agent, I have to tell it what to send. Do I want it to send a text? Do I want it to send an email? Or do I want it to send a Slack message? So if I want to send it to all three, I need to do this. Okay. Now I know this is kind of redundant, but this is what I needed to do, because these are separate instances. So that's why this we have this here. Okay, and you may not want it to send to all of them. You may just want it to go to Slack. Like I have a couple clients that they just want it in Slack. So that's how we do that.
One thing to add to is that the messages can all be different. So you don't have to send the exact same message. And so I can shoot a text to say, hey, just sent you the info via email, right? And, push it there. Also with some of my clients, what I also do, and this is just a tip for all you guys, I send, if I'm pushing the leads to like a Google Sheet or something like that, I'll include that Google Sheet in this notification to agent, so that the agent not only can get the text, text and email, like obviously in their inbox and their phone, but then they can click that Google Sheet button and see if I'm posting all that data in that Google Sheet. So I like having that data in multiple places so they have reference points, and they can track also on that Google Sheet. They can track the statuses of the lead and things like that as well, also with the CRM. So it's just multiple ways, and that's just another idea that you can use here.
Yeah. Yeah. And the custom fields you will see are also here as well. So this is where the custom fields, and that's why I wanted to cover it first, is the custom fields you can pull right into these message. So if I'm going to send it to a notification to my client or to myself, it's going to be like lead name and first name, something like that. And or let me back up. I want to send a notification to the agent on a specific or relative time. So relative is relative to when the lead comes into the system. So if you want it to send like instantly or at X after they come in, you need to have this on relative. So generally speaking, your first day when a lead comes in or a contact comes in, I always have the relative set for the first day, for on day one. Then usually on day 2 or day 3, because I have no idea when they came into the system, right? And like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't want to be sending texts to a lead or whatever at like 2 in the morning when they just happened to opt in to my lead magnet or whatever it is, right? So on the first day, I wanted to send a minute is the soonest we can have it send. We timed everything when we set this all up. We used to have it to where it would send instantly, but by the time it gets routed through everything, it's actually a minute. So that's why we have it set at a minute. It's going to send a minute after they log in. How many more minutes, how long do you want it to send out? That's up to you. How many hours do you want it to send out? It's up to you. How many days, right? I would, if you have leads coming into the system, you definitely want to respond to them right away, okay? So relative for your first...
At minimum via email. But like Jordan said, if you're sending a text and it's 2 in the morning, right? Then you're looking at getting a text at 2 in the morning. I mean, which if they're opting in at that time, shouldn't be that bad. And if you're going to do it, maybe just send a very simple text saying like, hey, we just received your submission. Someone will be in contact with you next morning, or when we open next, or something like that, just to kind of like, but not to have a conversation. So you don't want to have that opening text to sound like, please reply to this text if you got my text or something like that. So it's just so that you can avoid having that conversation at 3 in the morning and actually start the real conversation that next day at a specific time. And I'm sure Jordan will cover that here in a second.
Yeah. So, So for day 2, day 3, and so on and so forth, generally speaking, I'm going to select to have it to send at a specific time. And it's going to send on day 2, day 3, day 4, whatever you want to do. And we have templates available for follow-up. So if you want a template, just message me and I'll send you a template. That's no problem. It'll import right into your system. So text, you can save templates here. And I believe, what niches do you guys want to touch? Okay, yeah. Generally speaking, what we do is we'll send a text, a voicemail, and an email all in follow-up. And what I can say from experience in all of the thousands of dollars that we've run on ads to get people into a system, text message by far is the best for getting a response. Voicemail works. It really depends on your audience, because a lot of the I would say older people, the older generation, they don't want to text. But if they get an email, it's like, okay, someone's serious about contacting me, and they'll call right away. So it just depends. Like I'm running, or I have run campaigns for people that are doing like window and door replacements and stuff like that, and a lot of their audience, insurance and affiliate marketing. Kenny Johnson, affiliate marketing. So
talking about templates.
Yeah, maybe
talking about templates.
Yeah. The older generation, if your audience is an older generation, voicemail is going to work better. I'm just telling you. So send them voicemails, and if you want to send a voicemail, just record the file on your phone, or ask your client, whoever's voice you want on there, have them record the file on their phone and upload that file into this system, and it'll send no problem. So
let me just add something here. So typically you want that voicemail to either come from two different people. So either first, the one person should be the person who's going to actually talk to the individual. So like, if let's say you have a sales team and his name is John, who does your sales calls outbound, you want either that message to come from John. Hey, what's going on? My name is John. I just received your submission. Can't wait to speak to you. Let me know what time you have available this week or next week for a quick call, for example, right? And that could be from John. And the reason John is sending it, which is a ringless voicemail, which is automated, is because John's going to have that conversation initially with that client. Or you can have it come from like the CEO or the business owner. Hey, so thank you so much for submitting. We just got your information. This is Angel, CEO, co-founder of Funnelbolt. I'm super excited to have a conversation with you. Can't wait to see what we can do for your business. Feel free to, answer back to my text message or email that I sent you a little bit ago if you have any questions, for example, right? And so it's like think about it as a consumer. You're the way I say it is you're rolling the red carpet out for them, because they never feel like they're being left behind, and there's always some type of engagement happening, whether it's from you or you're the business owner or the sales rep or whoever it is. But there's never like a down time between when they opt in and the time that you actually physically speak to them human to human.
Yeah. So we have our campaign here, and again, this is just a demo campaign. So I've got after qualification. So I'm going to go back into my deal stage, and I'm going to say for completed here that I want to send my campaign here. So the campaign that I just created, now whenever my lead hits the completed part of my deal stage, I want to trigger that campaign. So this could be like, if they qualify for, whatever it is, then you send them, this series of messages or videos or something like that, plug that into this part of the campaign, and you should be good to go. The webhook URL, so this is going to be if you want the contact to populate something else outside of the system. So you can place like someone else's webhook URL into our system, and it's going to ping that thing. So we haven't used this so much, but it does work. So if you're using multiple systems and there needs to be like complete communication between all systems, you would put that in right here. So I'm going to hit save. Now, when I go to my deal stage and I go to completed, so I'm going to move myself back here. If I click on myself, it's going to send that campaign. So I've got lots of campaigns here. So if I want to respond to myself right now, I can do that. It's going to send a manual text to that person, that contact. Email is the same thing. Voicemail is the same thing. So it's going to run through and execute the campaign that you tell it to execute, but you can also kind of manually, another one coming in, you can also manually send whatever you need. So admittedly, this is something that we are kind of working on, is what we want to do is document all the communication, right? But admittedly, this can get a little messy because there's just a lot going on. So we are going to try and like better organize some of these campaigns that are like done executing, and we'll put them somewhere and kind of organize this a little bit better so you can still see all the communication, everything's archived, but you don't have to search for the right box to talk to your customers. Generic small business owners. Okay, yeah. That'd be, we have Lisa, we have that already. For insurance and affiliate marketing, we might have to get creative. So any other questions with the pipeline? Does anyone else have any other questions with the pipeline? You can change the name of these, no problem. And how this works with Zapier, I'm just going to copy the name of this. I'm going to go back to my Zapier app, and I'm going to tell Zapier where to send that contact. Okay. So that can be whatever. I just happen to pick the first one in the pipeline. But if I want to send this contact, to any of these, I can do that. Just copy and paste it, and it'll reference. It also has a I'm sorry, I put that in the wrong box. If I wanted to just execute a campaign without sending it to a specific point in my deal stage pipeline, I can have it execute a campaign too. So
I have a question for everybody. Well, not for everybody, but for you, so for everybody can hear. But the question is, how do we switch the deal stage automatically? So for example, let's say, after we've onboarded a client, right, and we've closed that client and we want to send that client a proposal, right? How do we, after that proposal gets submitted back, switch that deal stage to maybe completed? So through Zapier.
All right. So it depends on how you're so like in this specific case, it depends on what you are using. But if, let's say you're using
let's just try like Panda Docs is like a simple one.
Panda Docs. Okay. I don't have a PandaDoc account. Angel has a PandaDoc account. I don't have a PandaDoc account. But what you can do is select this. So the document's completed, right? So PandaDoc, now it's going to ask me to log in. So now the document's completed, and I don't want to have to manually move it. I want Funnelbolt to take care of it. I'm going to hit move lead to another deal stage. Continue. Same thing, right? Now all I'm going to do is input the deal stage that I want to move it to. So now I want to move it to completed. Now it's going to move that information to completed. You have to still put in your auth key, right? So I don't have a PandaDoc account, so I can't do this live for you. But I'm going to take this, place it here. Okay. Now it's going to reference into the right account. So it's got to reference the right account, reference the right deal stage, and it's going to pull the information. So it's going to pull the custom fields and all this stuff that we already talked about. It's going to pull that into the deal stage. If someone replies to a text, I should receive to my notification number. Can I respond to that text from that number, or will I need to come back into the system? Okay, so you will get, and I don't have any on my phone. Angel, do you have any on your phone that shows like how it looks on your phone? Basically, the
have what replies?
Yeah, the text replies on your phone. Do you have any of those?
Check.
Basically, how it works is it'll give you like a reference code, pretty much. And so all you have to do is input that reference code and reply like you normally would, and it's going to reply in thread to to the contact, if that makes sense. So if that makes sense, let me know. But that's basically how it works. So yes, you can reply directly from your phone or whoever's phone wants to receive those texts.
Yeah, so it basically, the way the text comes in, it'll say like, in order for you to reply back, it'll say like you have to put like a specific like code in the front of the text. So like it's like number sign with a bunch of numbers, and that's kind of how it identifies what thread you're replying back to. So it's like all your clients will have like an assigned number. And so when you're replying back to the text, you're going to just have to put that number in front of the reply that you're trying to send back. And then it'll essentially reply back, and you can see your replies inside the dashboard, once you've sent that. And so whether you're using it, whether you're replying on your phone because you're on the go, or you're in front of your computer, which is what's recommended. So it's just the easier, user-friendly system. Either way, no matter what, you'd be able to reply back to your messages, and likewise your clients as well. So if you're white labeling, right, and you're giving your clients access to their pipeline essentially, right, they can also reply back to their text messages. So depending on whether you're doing like a done for you service where you're doing all the replies, that's totally cool, or you can have them be responsible for their replies, which I highly suggest you train them on, just in case you're not like sitting in front of your computer or on your phone all day long. You want to just make sure that they're aware. And so the best thing I would do is probably do a test campaign with them so that they can receive a text and they can reply back to the text. And then that way you can, they can get used to how to reply, whether it's through the dashboard or through their cell phone. So it's just just makes it easy. So no matter if you're on the go or not, you can actually still get to those leads in a very quick manner, right? Besides the automations, right? So obviously the automations will be the speed to lead that you're looking for, right? That text message that goes out within the first 5 minutes. And then the human would come in after that person engages, right? Because the human really won't comment or reply until that person replies back to you, which is, at that point might be an hour later or whatever it is. But, you'll get that notification, and your client will as well in their dashboard.
Yeah. So let me real quick give you an example of so with the Pandadocs, like that's a good example of moving your client down your pipeline. But another thing would be like a 3-step funnel. Okay, so I want my contact to opt in. The next stage in that funnel is, hey, book an appointment. And then a thank you page. So I've got opt-in, book an appointment, thank you page. So I have three steps in my funnel. And how do we utilize like this system to encourage more productivity on those leads is going to be assigning in your pipeline, say the first stage of your pipeline, your lead in is going to be, hey, I noticed, thanks for opting in. So that'd be after like 1 minute. Hey, thanks for opting in to XYZ company. We're excited to have you, blah, blah, blah. How long does it take for someone to book an appointment on a calendar? I don't know, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So set a timer 3 to 5 minutes after the fact, or maybe 10 if you want to be safe. And the next sequence in there is going to be like, hey, I noticed you didn't book an appointment. You may want to do that. Here's the link. Okay. Then on this one, it's going to be, like booked an appointment. Booked appointment. So in this stage, I'm going to say, hey, thanks for booking an appointment. You're going to be talking to Angel at so-and-so. Make sure you have this and this and this and this prepared for the call. Something like that. Okay. So you have basically like conditional responses based on the action of the contact, which is what you want. And that is the most effective. So what you would do in that case is you would create, and I'm doing this all in Zapier, realizing you can do it with any webhook Zapier just makes it visually pretty easy to make it happen. So if I use Calendly, and we've used Acuity, we've used Schedule Once, like it doesn't matter what calendar you're using, you can do this. The invitee is created. After it's created, you're going to do the exact same thing. So what is going to happen is if they book, it's going to move them down your deal stage and send them the, hey, thanks for booking. If they don't book, it's not going to create this trigger, and they're still going to get that, hey, thanks for opting in, but I realized you didn't book. So that's where all the production happens. It goes from a very generalized a generalized response to a very conditional response, which is what you want. So I'm giving you very broad examples and broad applications. We've done like 5-step funnels and 6-step funnels and stuff like that. Like, just depends on how much qualification you want. If you want like one-on-one training on how to okay, I don't even know what a 3-step or a 4-step or a qualification funnel or anything like that is, like, book a call with Angel and I, and like we will work with you personally to get this stuff happening. But for the most part, a 2-step opt-in funnel is going to work just fine. So this is pretty much the nuts and bolts of our system, is the campaigns and the pipeline. There's a lot more going on, and I'll continue. Somebody's coming in.
Jordan, let me share my screen. I found a text message. I have it hooked up. Let me see if I could share my phone screen so I can share with everybody here what a text message looks like and how you can reply, like how it comes in onto your phone, so that they all can see how that works. Just give me access. If you guys are finding it valuable, drop a 1 in the chat if you guys found this valuable. Because, we do this for you guys. I mean, we don't need to do this, but we do this really to help you, maximize on your pipeline. Kenny finds it valuable. Appreciate you, Kenny. Felix says landscaping, lawn care, towing. Who else has found it valuable? Drop a 1 in the chat if you found it valuable. Jordan, let me know when I could share my screen here so I could share my phone here.
All right.
Awesome, guys.
Should be able to now.
All right, let me see. All right, iPhone via cable. Here we go. All right, it says trust. Connect your iPhone. There we go. Oh. All right, guys. So this is what a text message looks like. So you could actually see the name of the individual who replied. So Mark Ross just replied on your message. This was the message we were sending at the time. Hey, Mark, we just received your inquiry about our pay-per-show program. You're a roofing company owner, right? Customer reply, yes. And so when you want to reply via your phone, it'll say, please start your reply with 3000257 number sign, like this. And so it gives you an example here just so that you are aware of like how you need to type it. So there's no spacing in between the number and the digit sign and the reply. But remember what I said, guys, before, is that so Mark Ross, the number assigned to him is this 3000257. If you notice, this is Michael Burton, sent on February 8th. As you can tell, this is very recent, guys. So just to kind of show you guys that we're actively using, Funnelbolt. But oops. So here, right, every client will be assigned a number. As you can see at the top, Mark Ross is 257. Michael Burton is 238. And you could see how simple it is. And so, everybody obviously, and these are real replies. You could just go into your phone, find the number that you're looking at, and then reply directly from your phone. Now, the one thing that you will have is you're going to be replying basically to everyone from the same thread. So as you can see, like in this same text message box is where I would write the reply. And And then, yeah, so obviously, you're going to want to probably jump in the dashboard as soon as you can so it doesn't get kind of overwhelming. But at least you have in your, you're aware that someone is replying to your message, and that, whether you need to reply on your phone or jump in the dashboard or notify the client that there was a reply and someone needs to answer to them or whatever it is, that's what's most important, that you're aware that someone is engaging and that, you need to either reply back via your phone or your client does, or someone needs to jump in the dashboard and, get those replies handled. Right. So
Yeah.
it's very, very simple. And it's in real time as well. So if someone replies right now, I'd get the text message right now. And yeah, so it's pretty very simple and self-explanatory there.
Yeah. So I quickly, and if you guys can, if you have any other questions, I lost my chat screen.
Felix says, did you cover the affiliate opportunity and how to leverage it? Actually, that's a pretty good topic to cover here real quick, Jordan.
Yeah, good point. Good point. There we go, found it. Okay, so affiliate. The affiliate, to sign up to become an affiliate, you just click right here. Bulk packages. Okay, let me get bulk packages real quick. Bulk packages you only need to purchase if you are sending voicemails. So the reason for this is there are different systems and things happening in the background, and without like making things too complicated, we just brought it into our system, and you can purchase them right here. And like, we're not marking these up crazy or anything like that. Yeah, there is a little bit of a margin on it because we're assuming all the risk in doing this, but it's not a crazy amount. But basically, you would only need this for voicemails.
Unless, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're not integrating a Twilio account.
Correct. If you're not going to integrate a Twilio account and you just want to use our Twilio account, you need to purchase these.
So there's basically two ways you could send text messages, right? Either you cover the cost on the Twilio side, create your Twilio account, put credits in there, put your card on file on there, integrate that into Funnelbolt, and the sky's the limit there, right? Or if you don't want to go that route for whatever reason, totally cool. You could just buy the credits and keep it all within Funnelbolt, where you could send the text and voicemail within Funnelbolt, just buy the credits, and you'd be able to use and integrate with our Twilio account essentially. But doing so, like Jordan said, we're assuming the risk. And so, there is a little bit of a markup there to be completely transparent, but I mean, it's a service, right? So, if you don't want to do that, then go grab your own Twilio account, integrate it. You just got to do that at just one time, and then boom, you're good to go. You could fire off text messages. And then also you need to integrate either your SendGrid account or your Mailgun account in order to send email. So before you even do anything, I think that should be your first step, is to integrate all those accounts, so then you could just kind of like rock and roll building your campaigns and saving them and firing them off and going live.
We covered that before you came in. Maybe if you were here on time, you would have seen that.
Beautiful. Awesome, guys.
Okay. Okay. Felix, I promise I'll get back to your affiliate question. Do you guys have training specific campaigns to get leads in different niches? Yes. And that would be something that you can talk to myself and Angel about. What we're doing right now is we are putting together a training portal to where we've had a lot of different questions. Like I'm the one answering all the questions on intercom, and like my wife is like ready to kill me at this point because I'm on my phone all the time. And this training portal we've been working on for about a week and a half, to be honest. So we're just putting all these videos together. It's going to be categorized, and so that's one. But I will tell you, like, it's going to be pretty like general, like, hey, I want to learn how to do this or do that. If you want specific training on like, I don't know what niche you're talking about, but like we've worked with a lot of different niches. Felix has also worked with a lot of different niches. I'm sure there's a lot of people in here that are from all kinds of different backgrounds. It's different offer, different funnel, like it's just different. So knowing what exactly is the hook to get a lead for a specific niche that's actually valuable, like that's valuable information, and we can give it to you, and we want to give it to you, and that's why we're working with a lot of you one-on-one. So please reach out to myself, Angel, and we can chat and kind of see like what exactly you're looking for and how we can help.
Also, guys, just to get a pulse, I know there's a couple of guys in here and gals, drop in the chat just to get a pulse. What niches do you guys work with? Like, I want to see all the niches that you guys work with, and don't drop niches that you like have a dream of working with because you haven't gotten a client in. Like, what are you currently working with right now? Like, what are the niches that you have clients in? Okay, because I want to focus first when we do these trainings and things like that, when we build templates and stuff. I want to build templates based on what you guys already have, not like your dream clients and this and that, like that you never sold before. I'm talking about people you're currently collecting cash from that are clients looking to pay you for either lead gen, whatever it is, service. What niches are those? And if you're not in any niche, like yet, like mention that in the chat and put in the chat, what niches are you planning on working with? So I want to see at least 11 or however many people, 10 comments in here, right, of different niches or the niches that you guys are in. So that way we can get a pulse of like, what niches you guys work with, because we don't want to assume. I mean, I could sit here and build templates for freaking churches, but if you're not in the church niche, obviously it doesn't make any sense for me to do that. So that me, Jordan, Zach, and our team doesn't waste any of our precious, valuable time, right? I want to get a pulse of you guys, especially because you're live on this chat, on this call. What are the niches you guys are in? So we got a few. We got snow removal, Felix, landscaping, mortgage, Lisa says, cellulose insulation. Wow. I don't even know what that is. Cellulose insulation. Is that like for okay. Cellulose for whatever reason sounds like the fat loss, and then you hit me with insulation. I was like, okay, that definitely can't be it. Roofing, party bus, limos. Okay. Virtual 360 tours. I like that one. That one's actually really good. That one's booming right now during COVID. Any other niches, guys? This is extremely valuable. The more you provide us, the more value you're going to get. Because, we really want to make it plug and play for you guys if possible, right? So, what Jordan said before when it comes to like, personalizing it based on the niche that you're in, that is a factor when it comes to like the guarantees and the different service offerings that you guys and your price points and your sales process, right? Some people do 1 call close, 2 call close. So that's why we can't make the perfect template. Felix, no problem, man. And we'll talk about the affiliate stuff. Yeah, Felix, what we'll do is we'll create a specific training for the affiliate stuff and talk specifically on that topic for you. So no worries on there. And yeah, guys, if you can provide us all those niches, that would be great so that we have, at least a starting point for you guys, so that I don't sit here and build church templates and flower selling templates. You know what I mean? Because if that's not your niche, then it makes no sense. So, and then besides that, what questions you guys have while you guys have me and Jordan here, whether it's related to, lead gen follow-up, whatever that is, you have us right here at your fingertips right now. Kenny says e-commerce, Medicare ins.
Insurance.
Oh, okay.
And
thought it was like
doing
Medicare,
churches.
like
Kenny's doing
okay.
churches. So yeah, we'll yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
So keep dropping comments on niches. I want to quickly go through like 2 more things real quick. I said we were going to go till 2. It's 2:03. So like, give me 10 minutes. if you have a list, an existing list, and you want to send a campaign to a list that is not coming in, through either the landing page builder or something else, this is where you're going to do that drip campaign. What I would say here is, like, don't abuse it. So this has a lot of there's a lot of power in here, and I would just say, if you own the list, feel free to use it. If you do not own the list, don't use it. So name your list.
So best example here, I would just give an example of like where you would use this. So reactivation campaigns, right? So you have a list of people who haven't responded, or you work with a client who has a huge list of people who haven't bought in a long time or hasn't been engaged on. Grab that list from your client, upload that bad boy in here, and put up a reactivation campaign where you can get those people that were literally dead, collecting dust, back into their sales pipeline. Obviously, not all those people will jump back on the sales pipeline, but a percentage of them, which will be free money, really. And this is a great value add to any new client that you get to get your foot in the door and say, hey, first thing we're going to do is a reactivation campaign. Imagine you can collect a good amount of cash from a dead list before you even start any type of lead gen or any other services that you're doing. So
right. So there's a CSV file format here you can copy and then upload your list. Tell it to send however many you want to send it per day or per minute or whatever. And again, this can be voicemails, texts, or emails. So pretty self-explanatory. I said 2 things. I'll say 3 things because I've had questions about this as well. Clients. So clients are going to be listed here, and they're also going to be listed in your client tab. So to add a client, you're going to click here, add client. And again, you're going to go through this whole, like, whatever your client is. As soon as you create this, and you can set these limits however you want. They're set at 400 by default. I don't know why, but that's where they're at. Set the limit and grab their dedicated number. And as soon as you hit submit, it's going to create a new client. And for the, let me just find one here. And if I want to share this profile with my client, I can do that right here. So I'll do this one more time. Click this little thing here, and you can go through and select the permissions. So I'm probably not going to give them permissions to a few of these things. Is there a mobile app for Funnelbolt? There will be, but there is not right now. We have, I don't want to say too much. We have one, but it doesn't do everything we want it to do, so we don't have one. So we can develop one pretty easily. That's Zach. Zach is like the tech partner, okay? So he basically puts this whole thing together. Angel and I are the ones that are saying, hey, we need this, we need that. Zach makes all this stuff happen. Zach has built plenty of apps. We will have an app. We just have to make sure that we have enough people that are in our system that want to keep using our system, and that have, like, there's a demand for an app, and that, like, makes sense to us, like, financially, to do it. So that's, if I'm being honest, that's where we're at. So if I want to share the credentials, I'm going to, select the permissions, whatever. I don't want to send them anything for outsource or system usage, anything like that. Share the credential. It's going to send an email to that, to the client email that you just signed up. And it's going to give them access. It's going to give them a password, all that kind of stuff. Hit send, and they're going to be able to log into this system and see all this stuff, exactly what you want them to see. Okay. We were having issues with this just yesterday because we're working on something else that has to do with the client section. So yesterday, I think I had a few people that said they were having issues, and that's why. So quickly, what I want to do is go into the landing page builder and just show you how this thing might work. Okay, so first of all, you can, your client names are showing the company name. Mine is showing first name. Your client names are oh, okay, good question. Let me back up. Good question. So this first name, so what I do, and I realize this could be a field error, but there's a lot of different things going on. But if you want it to show up just like this, enter the company name in the first name. Just enter it right there. Hopefully that answers your question. And that, yeah, that's a workaround, but it is what it is for now. And you can put your name here if you want, or their name, whatever you want. But this first name here is what's going to show up in the client section. So the landing page builder. So first off, we're giving you this landing page builder for free. Okay. It works, but it's free. So there are a few issues here and there, but what I can tell you is I have funnels set up here. You logged in through, if you came from AppSumo, you came in through one of our landing pages. Like, we use this all the time. There are workarounds. Is it a ClickFunnels? No, I don't have, how many users, 100,000 users. How much is that monthly revenue? Like, we have to pick and choose priority wise what we're going to fix. We're giving you this landing page builder for free. I think it works good. Does it work perfect? Like, there are a few things that I would change in it, and we actually attempted to change, but it created more issues because it was a little more complex. So what I want to show you is how to connect it. Number one, you're going to point the A record to, if you have a custom domain, you're going to point the A record to this DNS. So that is going to look something like this. I'm going to show you just a demo account that I have here. So this is what it's going to look like, okay? So a few other things going on in here. This is the subdomain. So if I want this to route to a normal, like just to the normal custom domain, I'm just going to put this @ symbol right here for the host, and then I'm going to input the IP right here, and you're good to go. If I want to run a subdomain, I'm going to type the subdomain in right here and point it to this, and you're good to go. Okay.
Let me give an example to provide clarity on this, because people who don't know what that is are probably confused. Like, when and in what scenario would you use a subdomain versus the root domain? So,
okay.
For example, let's just say you're a lead gen company and you work specifically with doctors. Okay. And let's say your name of your company is, for example, when you build the landing pages for your doctors, there's two ways that you can either build a landing page. One, you can create a domain for every single doctor. So let's say you have one in New York, one in California, and you could either buy a domain specifically. So like, say, doctorsofficecalifornia.com, doctorsofficenewyork.com, right? That's one way you could do it. And if you're going to do that, which you can do it, I've done that before, but you start to realize there's a smarter way of doing this. You would just put the @ symbol, because there's no other essentially doctor's office that's going to be using that domain. So it's 1-to-1, meaning, you're only going to have the doctor in New York use doctorsofficenewyork.com. And at that point you would use the @ symbol, because it's using that domain, and you're going to point that to Funnelbolt, right? Drop a 1 if that makes sense real quick before I move into the subdomains, because I need to make sure you guys are awake and retaining information here. Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys are even still awake and watching this training, because I think me and Jordan are training each other at this point. Oh, man. All right, so home services, niches 1. All right, perfect. So Perfect. Ralph, thank you so much. Okay, so 1, okay, meaning 1-to-1. Now, if let's say you want to work a little smarter and you want to use one domain for all your doctors, okay? So let's just say your domain that you bought is doctorsoffices.com, okay? And somehow you got that domain, which congratulations if you did. You would essentially make, for say like New York office and California offices, obviously those are 2 offices, 2 different businesses. You would create a subdomain where it would come out as New York, let's just say New York doctorsoffices.com. And so now that URL is a completely separate property. And the way that domains work, they're called properties, right? So there's a separate property than California.doctorsoffices.com. And so if you want to use a singular domain for all your clients, all you have to do is create a subdomain, which creates a separate property on that same domain, and you point that subdomain to Funnelbolt, and then it would attach to that funnel that you created. So show them, Jordan, real quick, go back into your DNS and show them how a subdomain is created, because it's as simple as literally just creating it's a CNAME that you have to create, right? Right, Jordan?
Yeah. No. Well, for us, it's an A record. So it's the same. It's the same exact thing. ClickFunnels uses a CNAME. We use an A record. And
so, give an example. Let's just say, pretend you want to create a new subdomain because you just created a new landing page, and you want to use what domain are we using here? I forgot on this example here, but
subdomain.
So,
and then yes. So now I want to. So mine's going to be what is my
That's
roof
what I was
voucher.
wondering. Roof voucher.
Okay.
Right. So exactly.com.
Okay, and then I'm going to set this to my record, and I think I have to delete this one. So it may not work. I don't know how long it takes. And I think it's actually going to have me log back into my system. But that is how you do it. You hit save, and it's not going to do it because it didn't propagate in my DNS. So that is how it works. So that's a horrible example because I don't want to give you guys my let me see if I can get this working.
But ideally what Jordan just did is he created a separate property. So rather than buying a whole nother domain for a new funnel page, right? That's why it's also important to niche down, right? Because if you niche down, you can work smart and just kind of do a rinse and repeat and literally duplicate everything, not have to buy another domain. So the reason why we transition into essentially owning all of the domains ourselves rather than asking our client to give our domains is because it saves us a bunch of time, right? Imagine asking your client to go into their DNS records to point this and point that. Like, dude, they're gonna be completely, it's gonna be overwhelming for them. So we take control of that. We create the domain, we build the landing page, and then once it's live, we just notify the client, hey, your landing page is done. Here it is, bam, and there's their landing page. So just allows you to expedite the process without relying on your client to do the work. And now your success kind of lies on their shoulders to do it. And essentially they don't prioritize that at all because they have other things to do. So just a little tip out there for you guys doing lead gen or any type of client campaigns for your clients. Think about one domain that you can buy that will encompass and consolidate all your clients so that you don't have to buy a domain for each client. Moving forward.
So here is just I'm gonna go through a landing page crash course in like 5 minutes, and then we'll be done. This would be an example of a 3-step funnel. I think if you saw the video that I did on YouTube where I created a funnel in like 20 minutes, this is the example that I used. Okay, so I have the landing page, which is this one. Then I've got a booking page and a confirmation page. So you can add different pages, just hit add page, and it'll give you a clean slate. And if you want to start with whatever sections, you can do that. Just drag and drop. And now I want some features. I'm just going through here and editing things. So to edit, just click and edit, change the icon, right click, you can change the icon. The buttons, if you just click the buttons, and I'm using my keyboard here to edit the text in the button because everything's centered and that's just how it works. Got this here, then we have the button settings, right click. It's gonna tell me, okay, send it to this page, send it to this section, pop up, or call. So that's all right there. The pop-ups are right here. So you can pull a pop-up in, no problem. Add the pop-up. Your pop-up settings are now right here. And if I want to make changes to that pop-up, it should be right here. If you want to work directly with me, okay. So there is a quick crash course on how to do that. You can edit all these things. So if you want to build like legitimate websites, I'm not sure, I can't remember who said they work with church. Kenny works with churches. I've done some work with churches in the past too. They just need basic websites for the most part. You know, it just depends on, well, I don't want to say that because they're all on different levels, but you can create basic, pretty basic websites with this pretty quickly. So the next thing would be the forms, and your form settings are going to be right. I'm going to close this out. Your form settings are right here. So this little mail icon in this section is going to give you your form settings. So now I want to pull in this into my form. Now I have the first name, number, and email, and I want it to send to I want to send a specific campaign or a specific deal stage. I can do that from the form settings. So start a campaign and send to this deal stage. Hit apply, save, and let's see if this is actually working. Not working. So it does take a little bit of time, your DNS.
Well, just remove the domain. Just use the Funnelbolt domain for this.
Well, this one is it's already set. Do you have a current domain? No. Okay, so if I do invalid domain. I think I already have testing. Yeah, so there's so much stuff going on with this already. So that is basically how this is going to work. And your DNS, it does take a little bit of time for this to propagate. And I had something pointing to it, and then I took it off, so like just add to the time for that. Anyway, the landing page builder, we'll have a few videos on how to like actually go in to this, but we try to make it super simple, and that's, you know, right click, change images, and just click and edit text, move sections, you know, wherever you want them is fine too. So at any rate, anything else? Is there an easier way of renaming the sections other than going through the HTML? Renaming the sections. Fernando, what do you mean by renaming the sections?
I think it's in the. I think what he's talking about is in the landing page builder, the actual section. I'm sure he's probably asking this to see if he could duplicate it into other funnels or something like that.
Oh, I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but to rename the pages, it's all right here. So if I want to name the page, that's HTML. So I have a preview. I have a preview of the tail, the URL tail right here of the page that I'm going to be on.
Also, Fernando, if you can, unmute yourself, and dude, feel free to talk. You know, you don't have to use the chat. You know, just kind of voice out and vocalize what you're asking to make it a little bit easier. I'm sure everybody else would also appreciate that.
Okay, can you hear me?
There we are. What's up, Fernando?
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, that section at the top, instead of it saying section 1, I know that I've usually done it through the HTML.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people are good with HTML. So I was wondering if there was an easier way of renaming sections instead of like whenever you're linking, instead of going to pressing the section and then trying to figure out which section it was. That way, whenever you add a section, like you automatically rename it. And that way you don't have to be guessing which section it is when you're trying to link it.
I see what you're saying. So is there an easier way right now? The quick answer to that would be no.
Okay.
But what I can say is the section properties are all going to be right here in this black. So the section properties are going to be here in the black, and the column settings are going to be here in the blue. So the section settings right here, if I click here, it's going to tell me right here, section 4. So yeah, I know that doesn't answer your question the way you want it to.
Yeah, no, I know through there is where I usually rename it. Like I just change the section 4 to whatever I need to name it and then just save it. But I just thought that maybe there was an easier way. But no, that's the workaround that I've been using. I've been going through the source code. Yeah,
and we have the landing page builder and what Zach is currently working on should add a lot of strength to the landing page builder. But again, like that's something that we realize, like in doing this, like we want to have the best of the best for every feature, right? But like with landing pages, there are so many options for landing pages, and we're never going to like have the one builder that everyone wants to use. And when we first started this, and I know you were around when we did this, like for us to try to compete with ClickFunnels, like I think these are prettier than ClickFunnels, but we just don't have the budget to like directly have, without completely copying their stuff, because I mean that's something we can do too, but like without, and we're not going to do that. But does that make sense? Like, there's lots of options, and we want to have the best builder, and we are going to make changes to this thing to make it better. But for right now, like it's pretty good, and like not everyone is using it. So we're trying to like direct our resources in the right direction. Does that make sense?
No, it does. And I think the landing page builder is pretty solid. There are little things that like I've been able to do through the HTML, like add buttons here and add buttons there, or take off buttons from one side, because there are some sections that like work better, well, for me, without a button. But I like the overall design of that specific section. So I'll take off the button through the HTML, or I'll add buttons to other sections that could use a button. So like I like playing around with stuff through the HTML, and I know like in the past I've broken some things, and that's helped you all make it a little bit better. Yeah. But like I'll play with the HTML around, and I've changed some sections, changed some designs on my HTML code. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think the builder is pretty solid. Like I've used ClickFunnels in the past, and yeah, ClickFunnels is awesome, drag and drop buttons and everything. But you're right. Like I think these are a lot prettier. These are a lot easier to work with, and the way that everything is integrated, the call, the voicemail, everything that you have to pay for extra in ClickFunnels. Yeah, that's what I like about the system.
Yeah. So we will keep you posted on any updates we bring to the landing page builder and the system in general. But for right now, yeah, I mean your easiest bet is going to be going into that code for the section and changing it. So, but whenever we make some changes, we will touch base with you. And this is also like, if you want a crash course in like HTML, this is a good way to kind of at least get familiar with it. And if you screw it up, you can just bring in a new section. So
I mean, if you've ever had a MySpace account, you should be pretty savvy at HTML, by the way. You remember that? MySpace was all HTML. MySpace was all HTML, and I got really good at. I suck at coding. That's why Jordan and Zach are my backbones for that. But HTML was all MySpace. I mean, imagine Facebook if it was all HTML to like put a song on your profile. You know, like so that's kind of like back in the day. But same concept here. HTML isn't very difficult to understand. I'm sure you know, Fernando. But for the person that hasn't ever done HTML. What we might do is create, up until we've released any new updates, we might create like a basic kind of third grade HTML training to kind of just show you, you know, like you said, how to add a button or this and that. We probably won't get into too depth because it's going to get a little overwhelming. But the basics, like how to, you know, like you said, remove a button or change the section name and this and that, so that you guys can have at least that foundation. And who knows, you guys all might become coders, you know.
And what's helped me is like, let's say there's I want to change the alignment or something. I'll just Google like how to align text in HTML. Just copy the code, bring it in, and then just play with it. Mm-hmm. So Google also helps out a lot. Like I said, I like playing around with it, especially if it's something that I don't really know a lot about. So I learn by playing. I learn by taking things off, putting them back on, turning them on, and moving them around. So that's how I've been able to use the HTML to my advantage, and doing like little workarounds that I remember, I think it was Felix, the one that was having trouble. Well, we were both having trouble aligning text, so I did that workaround through the HTML, and it ended up working. So
yeah, there's all HTML has a lot of advantages. It is easy, and HTML also loads quick, so that's another reason why we have this here. So there's a lot more that we could get into, and we will. What I want to do, and I don't want to commit to this, but I think I'm going to, is like every week, and that's why I asked the question last week. If Wednesdays, if we can make a consistent schedule of Wednesdays, kind of doing these things and bringing your questions and all that kind of stuff, I think that's going to be beneficial for us and beneficial for everyone in here. So I will try to make sure we can get this training going through the system at least once a week. So Wednesdays, I think, are going to be the best day for me, and apparently it's the best day for everyone as well, at least as a whole. So we're going to record all these. We'll archive them so you can access them as well. And please, as you're messing around with the system, like any more questions, like bring them on. Like the system is only as good as like what you're able to relate it to and like see big picture, like how to make it work. So the more we do that, the better off everyone is going to be. So. Yeah, and if you want help on generating leads or making your business more productive, or if you want to reach more people, get more clients, or
creating an offer, creating follow-up, pricing, asking for the sale, sales period, prospecting, automations, integrations. What else rhymes with that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But any of those things that encompass any of that, like even productizing your service, or if you have this thing that you want to create, like a course, if you want to create a course, we could show you how to wrap that around, wrap that up and put a nice little bow on it with a nice hefty price tag, to kind of supplement your offerings. We can help you with that. We've done it tons of times already. And I don't know how many of you guys know my background, but, we've done this very well and made a lot of money doing this. So if you guys need personal help, this isn't something we can put in like a training because it's personalized to the individual. So that's kind of where we've developed the coaching program where me, Jordan, and Zach would be personalizing that coaching experience to you on a one-to-one basis. So right now, guys, if you are truly struggling right now is the best time to jump into coaching. And I'll tell you why. Because right now we don't have 1,000 coaching students, to be completely transparent with you, because we're just now, turning this on, and we've already have a couple students already. But because we're not at a point where, our time is completely taken up by it, we're doing this on a one-to-one basis. Whereas in the future will be a group coaching. So if you guys really truly want personalized, like tailored attention, like to you specifically, and you have access completely to us 24 hours, 7 days a week, obviously not in the nighttime, but you could send us a message and we'll reply as soon as we can. This is the time to jump in, because this is where we can give you our full on attention. And I mean, to make your investment back for our coaching program, it's not $1 million to coach with us, but you're really getting 3 bright minds for the price of 1. And this would be the best time to jump in. Use your stimulus check that you guys all got deposited today in your bank account as your, initial, because, you're either going to use that on random stuff, or you can use that to better your business and improve yourself and invest in yourself. So just throwing it out there. I dropped the link in the chat. I saw a few of you already book a call, so that's great. But truly, we're doing this for you. It's kind of hard to tailor all this stuff for you guys, for everybody on this training. So that's where the personalized one-on-one coaching comes in. Plus, you'll be getting all access to everything that we release inside of our coaching program, because you'd be literally in our inner circle. So just wanted to throw that out there. If you guys are struggling, we got your back.
And I just wanted to say that somebody was asking if Funnelbolt can be used to build websites. I want to say yes, because I did build one. It was a website for a boot camp that was here locally. And it was it was like a 4-page website, and it was working flawlessly. So yes, you can actually build just websites on the system itself, and it would link from one page to another and back and everything. So I was able to build a 4-page website on the system itself without a problem.
Let me ask you this, Fernando, just for everyone, and to kind of get a little case study. What did you charge for that?
I was charging him $100 a month to keep it up and running, but then pandemic hit, his business went down, so they ended up stopping that. So
what did you charge him to actually initially build it, though? Was there a setup fee or a build fee at all, or you just charged the hosting? Or
I was just charging, since I was barely getting started with everything. I was just charging him the hosting, basically.
Gotcha.
Because at the same time, he was letting me and my wife go into the boot camp he wasn't charging us to go to the boot camp.
Gotcha. So you're bartering business to get yourself a free workout. That's smart, man. That's the way you're supposed to do it. So just to kind of give a tip to everyone on this call, thinking about what Fernando just did, right? Imagine you built a website. So let's say you're targeting roofing, right? You would build, let's say, a 4 or 5 page website in Funnelbolt, right? Like Fernando did. I mean, Fernando, how long did it take you to build that 4-page website for your bootcamp client?
Just to initially build it, maybe like a day or 2.
Okay. So a day and 2 of investment, are obviously your time, because either you're paying money or your time, and you can even maybe possibly hire Fernando to build a page for you if you want. So Fernando, free business. There you go. If you want Fernando to build your landing page, reach out to him and he'll quote you on what he would charge you for it. But if, let's say, you build a landing page or a website, 4 or 5 pages for, let's say, a roofing, or even, let's just take Fernando's example, boot camp, right? So now Fernando has a 4-page boot camp template in his Funnelbolt account. All Fernando has to do is take that, duplicate it, right, and just kind of have it generalized. Go out and do a prospecting campaign to other boot camps and say, hey, boot camp, I built you a website, right? And I want to share it with you. Do you have some time next week so I could jump on a call and share with you what I've built for you? No obligation. If you like it, I'll tell you how to get started. If not, totally cool. We just built this because we saw your website's a bit outdated, right? And so guess what? Now that person is like, hey, I got this little candy with your name on it. And they're going to, if their website sucks or if it needs improvement, they're going to give you the time of day. You're going to jump on a call. You're going to share with them the Funnelbolt website you created, just plop their logo in, change their business name. And now they have a customized website that took Fernando literally a half a second to duplicate, change the logo, changed the business name, and now he has a custom website he built for this boot camp. And mind you, tip here, I wouldn't do all that until they've said, yeah, send me the website, or yeah, I would love to see the website you built. Take 5 seconds of your day, change the logo, change the business, and now jump on a call with that client, close them on at minimum $500 if they decide to go with it. And then plus hosting. So if you're hosting it, charge at minimum $50 hosting. But I would always collect something up front so you can, make sense of you doing it in the first place, but also getting some skin in the game from the client so that next time you offer them like lead gen or SEO or reputation management or whatever service that you want, sales training or whatever it is, they've already got some skin in the game. They're used to paying you money in exchange for, your service. And so when you upsell them into any other service that you have, they're already used to it. They like working with you. They've already paid you for their website, and now they want to pay you for more stuff, because if they really like their website, they're gonna be like, hey, you know what, Fernando, what else can you do for me? Can we do a lead gen? Like, how do you bring me more bootcamp clients? Like, and then that conversation starts off on the right track because you've already built them something, without their request, but it's actually going to help their business out. And so now you have this asset that you can now duplicate for other boot camps, right? And your work is very minimal. So invest the time, whether you pay someone like Fernando to build it for you. And sorry, Fernando, if you don't want to do this, but either Fernando or someone who's savvy at building landing pages via HTML, hire them, go on Upwork or something, hire them, have them build you a website inside of your Funnelbolt account, and then have that as your template to go out and find clients that you can build a website for, just to get your foot in the door. And then you can go ahead and offer your lead gen, whatever services that you have. I mean, every agency is different, but it's a great foot in the door offer versus being like, hey, I'm the best at lead gen. I can help you with lead gen. Buy my stuff. It's like, dude, you sound like every other person out there. So lead with value, right? That's why we're creating this training, to be completely honest. You wouldn't buy anything from us if you didn't know that we knew what we were doing. So why do me and Jordan do this? Well, because we want you to, understand that we know what we're doing, right? And we can help you. So if you want to work with us, you would feel good about it because, we can provide you that value. So that's the reason. So similarly, when you're trying to get a client, get your foot in the door by providing value, whether it's a training or this and that, or a website, and then create that relationship on the right foot, and then go ahead and offer your higher ticket services. But you've at least collected at least $500 on the front. I mean, you could play around with that number, 300, 500, 1,000, whatever it is. And then go ahead and offer your other services. Set a follow-up for 14 days later. Hey, what's going on? How do you like your website? Just wanted to check in to see how everything is going. Is there anything, that you need? Okay, great. Oh, by the way, with this website, what go hand in hand with it is SEO to, enhance and get traffic to your website, or lead gen, right? That we can do a direct response marketing campaign to get you more clients predictably. Whereas the website is just your brand, and people can find you online via your GMB, et cetera, your business cards. But yeah, so I just want to throw that out there because Fernando, I commend you on that, pound the back, because you got something there, and all you need to do is duplicate it, go find more boot camps, and go make some money.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, we're 40 minutes over, but that's okay. We got some good stuff. So, yeah. Thanks, Angel. And we will do this again next week on Wednesday. And if, like Angel said, there's a link in here, we'll also drop a link in to the Boost Academy if we said anything valuable that you thought, never thought of that, or never thought I could make money doing things this way or that way, or setting up funnels or anything like that. We'd love to help you with that. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate your time.
Awesome, guys.
We will
take it easy.
See you soon.